A beautiful brownstone in Lincoln Park, a life built on trust, or so I thought. The cracks started small, almost invisible. She started working late, citing deadlines for her marketing firm. Business trips became more frequent, always to the West Coast. She told me her mother, who lived in Los Angeles, was unwell. I believed her, sent flowers, called her mom to check in, who always seemed surprised but grateful. Sarah would get angry, telling me I was smothering her, that she needed space to handle her family affairs. Her phone, once left casually on the nightstand, was now glued to her hip. Passcodes were changed. She'd take calls in the other room, her voice dropping to a whisper. When I'd walk in, she'd hang up abruptly. It's just a spam call, she'd say, her eyes not quite meeting mine. She grew cold, distant. My touch, once welcomed, was now flinched away from. She started criticizing me, my clothes, my job as an architect, even the way I loaded the dishwasher. It was psychological warfare, designed to make me feel small, to make me the problem. And for a while, it worked. I felt like I was losing my mind, walking on eggshells in my own home. The discovery wasn't a single explosion, it was a slow, agonizing burn. I found a receipt for dinner at a place called the French Laundry in Napa Valley, dated for a night she was supposedly at a conference in San Diego. Then there was the credit card statement, with charges for 2 nights at the Auberge du Soleil, a ridiculously expensive resort. When I asked her about it, she flew into a rage, accusing me of snooping, of not trusting her. She had a perfectly crafted lie for everything, calling it a business expense she forgot to submit. Her arrogance was breathtaking. She and whoever she was with felt untouchable, laughing at the clueless husband back in Chicago. The breaking point came a month later. I came home early from work, planning to surprise her. The house was quiet. I walked upstairs to our bedroom and found her on the phone, her back to me. Her voice was soft, laced with an intimacy she hadn't shown me in years. "I miss you too, David," she whispered. He has no idea. He's so wrapped up in his little blueprints, he wouldn't notice if the house was on fire. Then she laughed. "It's just a few more months. We'll have everything." My world shattered. I backed out of the room, silent, my heart a cold, dead weight in my chest. I went downstairs, poured a whiskey with a hand that wouldn't stop shaking, and sat in the dark. The loyal, loving husband died that night. In his place, something cold and calculating was born. My grief turned to ice. I wasn't just going to leave her. I was going to dismantle her life, piece by piece, just as she had dismantled mine. I hired a private investigator, an ex-cop with eyes that had seen it all. While Sarah was on her next business trip, I meticulously went through our finances, our legal documents, everything. The pie was good. He got me photos, videos, hotel records. David, it turned out, was a venture capitalist from Dallas, one of her firm's clients. They weren't just having an affair. They were planning to use my money, our joint assets, to start a new company, a new life. They had been siphoning funds into an offshore account. It was a long con, and I was the mark. For 3 months, I played the part of the devoted, slightly pathetic husband. I made her dinner. I listened to her fabricated stories about her ailing mother and stressful work trips. Every lie she told was another nail in her coffin. Inside, I was a machine, gathering evidence. I documented every text, every email, every fraudulent transaction. I met with the best divorce attorney in Chicago, a shark named Marcus Thorne. We built an ironclad case. We weren't just filing for divorce. We were filing a civil suit for fraud. The plan was a 2-act play, legal annihilation followed by social execution. The day of her mother's funeral arrived. She called me from the airport, crying fake tears. She told me how much she wished I could be there. I told her I loved her and to be strong. An hour later, my pie sent me a photo of her and David, clinking champagne glasses at a rooftop bar in Miami. That was the final piece. The trap was set. Her downfall was scheduled for the annual company gala her firm hosted at the Art Institute of Chicago. It was their biggest night of the year. Sarah was set to receive a major award. She looked radiant in a silver dress, laughing with her colleagues, with David standing smugly by her side, introduced as a key business partner. They thought they were on top of the world. At 9 p.m., Just as her CEO began the award presentation, my lawyer served David with the lawsuit papers right there on the gala floor. The whispers started instantly. Then, the main event. At a large screens on either side of the stage, meant to show a montage of Sarah's achievements, suddenly flickered. Instead of corporate logos, a photo appeared. Sarah and David kissing on a hotel balcony in Dallas. Then another, holding hands in Napa. Then a short video clip of them exiting the Omni, the night my world ended. A collective gasp filled the room. The audio from her phone call, the one I overheard, played over the speakers, echoing through the silent hall. He has no idea. He's so wrapped up in his little blueprints. I watched from the back of the room as her face went from triumphant to horrified. Her CEO stared at her, speechless. The color drained from her face. She looked around desperately, but every face was a mask of shock and disgust. She was utterly alone, exposed under the bright lights. She didn't get an award that night. She was fired the next morning. The lawsuit stripped her of everything. The fraud charges meant she lost her claim to our assets. Her reputation was destroyed. And David, the cowardly man he was, cut her loose the moment his own reputation was threatened. I left Chicago. I moved to a quiet town on the coast where the ocean is loud and the memories are distant. Sometimes, late at night, I pull up her social media profile. It's private now, but the profile picture is still there. It's an old one of her smiling on a beach. A ghost of a life that never really existed. I don't feel anger anymore, not even satisfaction, just a vast, empty quiet. I won, but all I have is the silence. The end.